All right, hey guys, I wanted to go over the transcription and translation practice test that I gave you guys earlier. So that way you have the answers that you can study for your benchmark exam on this material. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, sorry, and I'm going to read the question, explain the answer behind it. All of the answers will be here. So, number one, for the given phrase, choose the type of molecule that most closely is associated with the phrase. Contains the hereditary information passed on from generation to generation in humans. This answer is going to be A. A is the genetic information that you use to pass between your parents and your offspring. You get your DNA from your parents. Messenger RNA is responsible for carrying the message of how to make proteins from the nucleus to the ribosome. tRNA is in charge of helping the ribosome read that message and bring amino acids that are coded for by the individual codons. So examples of polymers which contain repeating units known as nucleotides are, again, A, DNA and RNA. Anytime that you see nucleo or NuCl, nuc, you're going to think nucleic acid, DNA and RNA, which stand for deoxyribonucleic acid and ribonucleic acid. So questions 3 and 4 refer to these pictures here. So which pair of nucleotides can be held together by weak hydrogen bonds? It's important to remember that all nucleotides are held together by weak hydrogen bonds, so don't let that part throw you off. Essentially, this question is asking you which ones pair up. So we can see that adenine and uracil are going to pair, as well as guanine and cytosine. For number 3, you don't have 1 and 2 as an option. So your only option is going to be 3 and 4, which is D. Which structure pairs with adenine nucleotide during the formation of mRNA? So when you go from DNA to RNA, you pair adenine with uracil. So uracil is B. If it were DNA to DNA, instead of adenine pairing with uracil, adenine would pair with thymine. So for number 5 through 7, we're going to have to do a little bit of scrolling, but that's okay. So first and foremost, let's take a look at strand A and B and see if we can identify what is really what here. So when we look at our key, we can see that each one of these shapes has a different nucleotide associated with it. So if it's fully black and has a triangle on the top, it's adenine. If it's gray and has a rounded circle end, then it's guanine. Thymine, it's fully black, it has a triangle cutout. If it's cytosine, it's gray and has a circle cutout. And if it's uracil, then it's completely white and it has a triangle cutout. So one of these strands is going to be DNA and the other one is going to be RNA. We can remember that DNA has the base thymine in it, whereas RNA has the base uracil in it. So we can look and we can see, all right, so thymine looks like fully black with a triangle cutout. So we can see that strand A has thymine in it. So strand A must be DNA, whereas uracil appears only on strand B. So strand B must be RNA. So which in the diagram represents part of the process of protein synthesis. Strand A would, so we already discussed that strand A is DNA. So DNA serves as a template for making mRNA. So your answer is C. So 6, if strand A represents a portion of the DNA molecule, its complementary sequence of nitrogenous bases on mRNA would normally be. So we'll scroll up here and we can see that strand A starts with thymine, so that would pair with adenine. And then we move on to cytosine, which pairs with guanine. Then we've got a thymine, which pairs with an adenine. Then here you've got an adenine. Remember, if we're going into mRNA, we need to go ahead and pair that with a uracil. Guanine is going to pair with cytosine. Thymine is going to pair with adenine. Cytosine pairs with guanine. And adenine pairs with uracil. So I can scroll down here. And we can see that our answer is A, G, A, U, C, A, G, U. It would be C if it was going from DNA to DNA, but because we're going from DNA to RNA, our answer is D. Strand A would normally be found in the nucleus. We know that strand A is DNA, so we know that strand A must be found in the nucleus. So question 8. The normal nitrogenous base sequence, when we go from X to Y, we're going from DNA to DNA. So A pairs with T, C pairs with G, T pairs with A, G pairs with C. So that is going to be T, G, A, C. So our answer is going to be C for number 8. Number 9, the molecule represented by strand Z moved from the nucleus to a cell of a cell to the cytoplasmic organelles known as A. So this is going to be number 9. So it is going to move to C, the ribosome. So RNA is going to move to the ribosome. Number 10, if strand X serves as a template for synthesis of strand Z, the base sequence of that fragment of strand Z shown is, so A is going to pair with U, C is going to pair with G, T pairs with A, C and G pairs with C. So our answer is going to be B for number 10. UGAC. Which nitrogenous bases tend to pair with each other in a double-stranded molecule of DNA? So this is asking you what pairs in DNA. Adenine and thymine. So A goes with T in DNA. If it was RNA, it would be D, but it is not. It's asking double-stranded DNA, so 11 must be A. 12, 2 types of RNA molecules are the messenger and the transfer RNA. We also have one more type called rRNA. It's called ribosomal RNA, and it helps make up the ribosome. Function of transfer RNA is to transport amino acids to messenger RNA. So it gets its transfer because it transports amino acids. So number 14, the presence of which nitrogenous base indicates that the molecule associated with the ribosome is RNA? That's going to be uracil. We talked about that a couple times. If it has thymine, then it's DNA. Sorry. Speaking and typing, not very helpful. We've talked a couple times, if it's RNA, it will have uracil. If it is DNA, then it will have thymine. So the sequence of nucleotides on the RNA molecule was determined by the, so for number 15, this is going to be C. The order of the mRNA is determined by the sequence of the original DNA. So DNA makes RNA. RNA here is going to determine our protein sequence. So the messenger RNA genetic codes for 3 different amino acids if are, so if it's UUU, then it's phenylalanine. If it's GCU, then it's alanine. If it's GGU, then it's glycine. So using this information, what does this code for? So here we have to break things up into codons. Codon is a segment of 3 RNA molecules. So we can see our first one is GCU. So GCU codes for alanine, or ALA. Then we have UUU, which codes for phenylalanine. And then GGU is glycine, or GLY. So we can come down here and look. So we're looking for alanine, phenylalanine, glycine. So the answer is A. 17, the association between the ribosome and the mRNA molecule occurs in the cytoplasm. All of your RNA is going to be, or all of your ribosomes are going to be found in the cytoplasm. Some of them may be bound to rough ER, but even that rough ER is located in the cytoplasm. A substance being synthesized by cell A is most likely A, this is what we've been talking about the whole time, polypeptide, B. So here we have A, C, G, and U. A, C, G, and U are our nitrogenous bases: adenine, thymine, guanine, and uracil. These structures that are composed of RNA here are going to be all of these floating bits. So this is tRNA, this is mRNA. So we can see we're looking for 1 and 2. 3 is also a codon, so that's going to be RNA. And 4 is an anticodon, so that is also RNA. So we can come here and look and see, all right, no. 20, no. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. So it is C. So this is tRNA, this is rRNA. The portion of DNA that carries leucine, so we start up here with leucine. So leucine is attached to an anticodon. This codon is going to plug into the codon CAA, or CUU rather. So it's going to plug into CUU, but that is transcribed from DNA, which is GAA. Don't worry so much about this one. If this one doesn't make sense, that's fine. We're not going into codons and anticodons on this quiz. So the process that results in the formation of structure 2, so let's go ahead and find structure 2, as this mRNA sequence. That is going to be A, RNA synthesis. Number 1, you can tell that we have not learned anything about non-disjunction, hydrolysis, or crossing over, so it must be RNA synthesis. RNA synthesis is also known as transcription. For a given phrase, choose the type of molecule that is closely associated with the phrase, may contain the nitrogenous base uracil. So that is going to be all RNA types, so both messenger, transfer, and the one we haven't talked about on here, rRNA. For the given phrase, choose the cell compound which best described by the phrase carries protein building blocks to the ribosome. That is going to be your transfer RNA. Transfer RNA brings amino acids or protein building blocks to the ribosome. mRNA is going to be the one that serves as the template guiding the transfer mRNA, or guiding the transfer RNA. ATP is cellular energy, and DNA is the cellular information for cells. The genetic code for one amino acid consists of A, 3 nucleotides. So a codon, the genetic code, is made of 3 nucleotides. That is all of the DNA practice test that I've given you. We've got our answers here on the side. I'm going to upload this video here in just a little bit. Good luck studying for your benchmark. I will see you soon.